Well, good morning. This is a walk that I take every day, or 2 or 3 at the most. I'm going back to check out the cattle here and also to open up a gate to let them have access to fresh grass. Now, this is one of the water troughs that we've got. There's about maybe 300 feet or so of hose that goes up to the house to deliver water. Here, this is a Rubbermaid water tank. Rubbermaid actually makes some really terrific industrial products. This material that they've made this out of is called structural foam. I mean, it looks just like plastic, but it's much tougher. A water trough like this can even freeze over winter and it won't crack. So my 2 water troughs are Rubbermaids, and I'm looking to get some more. Cattle always trample up the area quite a bit where their water is. It's unfortunate, but unavoidable. This will come back pretty nicely once the cattle move on. So we're in what we call the second field here. There are 3 fields to our spread. The whole place is a little over 90 acres. And half of it's cleared and divided into 3 fields. If you look carefully there, you can see some of the dividing electric fences that I use. There's a post there, just to divide off the fields into 3 or 4 or 5 acre chunks. They've grazed this down. I mean, there's a lot more grass here, but they've grazed it down enough that I'd like to let it come back. So my mission this morning on Father's Day is to let them into the 3rd field, a partitioned part of the 3rd field, where they're going to be grazing for the first time this season. They've been on our place for a month now. Haven't had to use a 3rd field yet, but now's the time. These cattle are Black Angus and Shorthorn. They're not crossed, they're just the 2 breeds are here. And British breeds have a reputation for being very friendly. Not too skittish, easy to contain, and grow well on grass, put on a lot of fat, which I know fat's a bad word these days, but the right kind of fat is not as unhealthy as people think it is, in my opinion, and it sure does make the beef taste great. So a few days ago, I let them into this section mostly because there was a lot of tall grass right in this area. Well, they've eaten it off quite well, and now it's time to move on. So let's get this gate open. They probably won't follow us in. It takes them a little while to find new openings. But good morning, boys. Most of these are steers. These are 2 of the largest, and they'll be leaving us soon. It's been a terrific year for grazing. We seem to get a rain every 3 or 4 days at least, and a great big dose at that. We're only about 1.5 miles from the south shore of the island, which fronts onto Lake Huron. And if you look straight south from the shore, which is that direction, there's about 200 miles of open water before we get to the south shore of Lake Huron, where Sarnia is. Sarnia, Ontario, on one side of the St. Clair River, right at the bottom of the lake, and Port Huron on the American side. Now, we're coming up to a fence that I'm going to have to adjust here. See, the electric string goes right across where the cattle need to get out. So I'll need to disconnect that, open it up and let them in. This is the end of a portable fence that's containing them on one side. You see, this metal wire here, that's electrified right now. If I were to touch it, it would kind of give me a jolt. Nothing lethal or serious, but you know you've touched it. And then this string wraps around that metal wire, and that's how it gets energized. So I've got an insulator and a bungee cord on the end of all of my portable fence kits. They're on reels. You reel them in like a fishing rod. And, so I need to take this off right now and then undo it, move it over so that the cattle can get through this gate here. The trick, of course, is to do it without getting shocked. I could have shut the fence off, but I can do this pretty easily. So there we go. It's off. It's not energized anymore. I'm just gonna put it over here, find a place to hook it. It's kind of hard to do one-handed, but here we go. There, so we're out of the way. We can open the gate. I built these gate cribs, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. The reason it's not just a fence post in the ground is because the ground's not all that, the soil's not all that deep here. You know, Manitoulin doesn't have a lot of topsoil. If you look over there, that's bedrock right there. So there's not enough soil to sink a fence post. So all over the island you'll see these gate cribs, they're called, just like a log cabin kind of arrangement, filled with rocks, and holds up gates. To support the hinges of the gate, on all my gates I've put these little things. The gate actually rests on that. Takes the weight off the hinges. There's also a wheel here, so it rolls along as I open it up. Just makes the whole gate arrangement last a lot longer. Now there's one more thing I have to do. Oh, the cattle are coming. They know what's up. But I gotta get them. Hang on a sec here. I can't let them through yet. It's hard to do with the camera in my hand. Here. I need to get them onto the correct side of this fence. So, I don't know if you can see too well here, but they're all coming through. They want to come through, but I have to get them on the left side of this string. So, there we go. They're all coming in now. They know fresh grass when they see it. Now this fence wire is actually not electrified right now. But they still respect it because they know what it's like to have touched one in the past. And they are pretty quiet, but can you see they're happy? I think they're happy. They're going to be in this section for, it's about 3 or 4 acres, I guess, and they're going to be in this section for 3 or 4 days before they chew it all down, and then I'll move them over into the other section. So this is kind of what moving cattle around is like. Each session's different a little bit, but the idea is the same, to take them off the grass before it's completely eaten off and trampled so it can grow back vigorously, and then give them fresh grass here, which is always a joy to me anyway, to see them enjoying this nice green grass, getting a lot of pleasure out of it, and so do I. So anyway, keep in touch, come back again. Bye for now.